a CRN original.
Attention, you are about to hear the captivating voice of an icon in the movie industry. You have heard him and seen him in performances in over 140 films. He's met and influenced many world leaders, and now he's about to tell you how to unite the America he loves.
That job's filled.
Unique. Brilliant. And unpredictable. Robert Davi is a Renaissance man who writes, directs, sings, and does it all with excellence.
Yes, okay, we're all very impressed, but let's get on with it now.
Robert Davi believes he should use his voice to both repay and help unite America, the America that made his dreams come true.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Robert Davi Show. Well, wow. Hey, well, surprise again. Bruce LeVell sitting in for the great Robert Davi. He's out in another country shooting a great film that's probably coming to a theater near us about Hunter Biden, so that's going to be fun. And once again, I'm sitting in again for my good friend Robert Davi. Listen, Robert, I'm not trying to replace you, brother, because I don't want you to walk up and say, I'm in charge now, like you did in Die Hard. So that was a great movie. I love that scene. You know, we got some great guests coming on, guys. I'm really excited, but you know, more so, you've probably been watching what the Atlanta Braves have been doing here in Atlanta, in the hot Atlanta. And, and the reason why I did that, y'all know where I'm going with this. So President Trump, he came to visit Atlanta Braves, play the Houston Astros here at Truist Stadium. And, of course, the headline was, President Trump was doing the tomahawk chop. It was on every major news outlet, and oh my OMG, here we go again, you know, and y'all know where we're going with this, you know, is the tomahawk chop racist? OMG. So that was interesting how that made the headline, because, you know, you saw what happened to the Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Guardians, and of course, you know, the Redskins, the Washington team, you know, and I'm sitting here, you know, it's interesting because remember, the Cowboys won, by the way, for all the Cowboy fans yesterday. Big shout outs to my friend Dak Prescott. Big win. They're called the Cowboys. So is the Cowboys going to get canceled since we got rid of the Indians? So we can't have Cowboys and Indians. Oh my gosh, what is next? You know, listen, this is why, I've always said this, when someone cancels you, this is a great opportunity to start your own business. And I got another good guest coming on that's part of the new revolution of social media. That's going to come on this segment. Got some great lineups here too. Got Kaelan Dorr over at GETTR. Y'all, the new GETTR is what I'm talking about. When they cancel you, you start a new platform. Got big Boris Epshteyn from the Trump campaign of 16 and 20, and the fabulous Kim Klacik coming up. So y'all stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. But listen, all the hot topics. I like flying Southwest Airlines. I like them all. They're going to treat me good and get me there safe and on time, and don't beat me over the head with the coffee container if my mask is not up while I'm chewing my peanuts. But anyway, that's another story. But the Southwest pilot under investigation, for allegedly using the anti-Biden phrase, let's go, Brandon. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, this is so bizarre. And I guess it's just, if you're on the left, then you get excused. So you can just pretty much say whatever you want. And, what's the big basketball player over at Boston, the Celtics, when he called out China for their atrocities on should I say, human slavery and the oppression of religious freedoms, or there's no freedoms in China, but they're dead quiet, and stuff like that. But you sit up here and this pilot just makes a joke, let's go, Brandon. And then all of a sudden they're ready to shut down the airlines. This is just crazy. You can't make this up. The fabulous Joe Biden, he's over there trying to talk about the climate crisis, and he apologizes for pulling out of the Paris Accords. I'm sorry what happened in the previous administration. We should have never done that. And to this day, it's interesting. If you had a press conference and you asked the entire administration, you know what? I'd probably give them a little time to research it. Where exactly does the money go? Just ask them. Okay, so where does the money really go? Well, I can tell you President Trump knew where the money went. It went zero. And he was calling out all these nations of all these, yes, taxpayers, me and 30 million of us small business people and us hardworking taxpaying Americans funding these projects for these big historical, we've always done it this way. We should always pay the Paris Climate Accords, and we should always pay for we should just pay because we've always done it that way. No. President Trump went in and looked at it like a regular balance sheet and says, does this make sense for the American people? No. Are we getting our return? Watch this key word, ladies and gentlemen. Our turn for our dollar? Absolutely not. And so Uncle Joe, Sleepy Joe, moving kind of slow at the junction. Yeah, I'm dating myself. That was Petticoat Junction. I know. He's over there apologizing for what President Trump pulled the money out and put it back into the hardworking taxpayer's pocket. How dare you? That's what our so-called commander-in-chief is doing over there. Listen, you saw the other news too. Press Secretary Jen Psaki, got caught COVID, the China virus. That's what we call it because it came from China. And it's interesting. I remember when I was on the fake MSDNC show with the fake Tiffany Cross as the host. When I made reference to that, she goes, "That's so offensive." I said, "Really?" I said, "Okay, let's take away Ebola. Ebola is an Ebola in Africa. Let's take away the German measles. Let's take away the Spanish flu. Stop it. Stop with the wokeness. Don't even try it. It originated in the Wuhan laboratory in China virus. I'm sorry. Get over it." But anyway, she caught it, and we'll just send prayers out to her because we're always going to be the bigger people, and we should. We should never let politics get in the way. I think it's essential that we agree to disagree and fight. To even if someone says something you don't like, you can't cancel them out. We can't have it both ways. I know it seems a little one way, like a one-way street we're dealing with out there, but I think it's essential that we really fight to let people agree to disagree, no matter how bad it gets. Big deal going to Supreme Court. Y'all see what's shaking up there. All my friends out in Texas, and for all you exes that do live in Texas, Texas got a big deal going on with the abortion bill, is the 6 weeks, as you call it, and we're waiting to see what the decisions are going to be in the Supreme Court. And it's interesting about the Supreme Court. I really thought that we were going to get some really champions, and they really punt the ball a lot, especially if you mention anything about elections or anything that has to deal with the election integrity. Man, you want to see them run for the covers. They're not the only ones. A lot of judges do it too, and I think it's a disservice to the American people where a lot of these judges are scared to address their legal opinion on some political processes or some elections across the country that people challenge them about, and they slide and slip and slide and dodge and hide. But it'd be interesting to see what's going to come out on that and how they're going to back Texas or they're going to overrule it, or it's very interesting. I tell you, it's always something that's been, and I brought this up last week about Roe v. Wade, and the great Robert Davi was in that movie with John Voight and my sister Alveda King, Dr. Alveda King. She was on our show last week, and I tell you, that was a great movie. It's very eye-opening. If y'all can stream that, it's Roe v. Wade, and you can get a kind of understanding what's going on, right now in terms of where the Supreme Court and how they're going to approach this, and just really the history of where Roe v. Wade came from. It's very eye-opening, and of course, it's not going to get a whole lot of play for obvious reasons. Boy, that truth be hurting out there, and we don't want to talk about the truth. You can't handle the truth because this is definitely an in-your-face, very sensitive subject that has a lot of debate into it, and especially the origination of where it came from and how it was formed. But it was a great movie. Y'all check it out. It's streaming, Roe v. Wade. But listen, remember I told you last week, we talked about my friend John Gruden, and I warned everybody. I said, now be careful. You're going to want your emails floating up from what you emailed in 1974. Oh, wait a minute. It was 1974. Well, anyway, the late 80s when emails were first introduced. But he's actually, there's some talks about him suing the NFL commissioner for leaking out his private, and he should. And that goes for everyone. You know, guys, listen, it's bad enough that well, if you're out on the phones and you're whatever, people can listen in on you and hack you and tap your phones, etc. And they do that, and the government does, and they're tapping us right now as we speak. But you know that's a real slippery slope. You know, especially once again, guys, that happened 12 years ago. And you know, it's interesting because I think there's so much crazy news going on, and there's so much cluttered, especially with the information world. How fast we get our news through social media, etc. Nanoseconds. Sometimes we forget, guys. I said this is very guys and girls. This is very serious. So just remember that it could be you. But listen, we've got some great guests coming on, and my next guest is Kaelan Dorr. He's a trooper and a warrior since 2016. He's actually the senior vice president over there at the new GETTR. GETTR is the new Twitter, which is when someone cancels you, you open up your own business. And this is exactly what my friend Jason Miller did. Kaelan Dorr is a right-hand man over there at GETTR. He's a really top communications guy. So y'all hold on, and we're going to ask him a lot of questions about the new GETTR and just really his journey from 2016 being with the president and dealing with, he's that comms guy behind the scenes. So y'all stick and stay, don't go away, because we got some really good folks on here on the Robert Davi Show, and we'll check back.
I'm Al Simon, 91 years young. I created Balance 7 20 years ago. At 67, I went to see the doctor for the first time in my life and found that I had medical problems. He told me that was normal for my age. I don't believe God intended us to be sick and old. I decided to find something to bring my health back. For 10 years, I studied pH and how important it is to the human system. Balance 7 gave me back what I lost by getting older. I no longer get out of bed with a joint discomfort. Balance 7 can do for you what it has done for me and many others. In 3 days' time, you'll feel more energy, less joint discomfort, and clarity of thinking. No doctor or hospital can do what Balance 7 can do for you. Balance 7 is the key to unlocking the healthy immune system. Bring your body back to balance. Order now. Receive free shipping with the code word AL. Go to balance7.com. That's balance7.com. Order now and get your free shipping and a free gift with your order. Go to balance7.com. Use the code word AL.
These are the sounds of Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club.
Look at this ribeye. Did you see that ribeye?
Fantastic. Incredible.
This is delicious.
Sausage and lentil soup, special today. Very, very good.
Look at this garlic bread. Best garlic bread I ever had.
And here's Vic Perino, owner and operator of Columbo's.
A lot of the Italian recipes are my uncle's own recipes. We have a lot of people coming back for his hand-rolled lasagna. We make it basically from scratch. I think ours is exceptional.
Here's Vic on what makes Columbo's different than any other Italian restaurant.
The other thing that sets us apart from other Italian restaurants is that we're an Italian steakhouse. We specialize in our steaks.
Plus, there's more.
We have entertainment 7 nights a week. So they're coming for a lot of reasons to value. Their value per dollar that they're getting, plus coming into a neighborhood-friendly place. Sometimes we're actually accused of being the melting pot of Eagle Rock.
Columbo's in Eagle Rock on Colorado Boulevard, 323-254-9138. Manja.
Keep listening for a free offer from US Med. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of sticking your fingers over and over again. By simply wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of sticking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar daily and administering insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call today and learn about the latest CGM technology. We'll send you a free ebook telling you all you need to know about CGMs. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. Your new CGM may be covered by Medicare or private insurance. Call now to learn more. 800-524-9313. 800-524-9313. That's 800-524-9313.
Robert Davi.
I want you to know this is nothing personal. It's purely business.
Wow, man, that was, whew. I love hearing that man's voice. But anyway, Bruce LeVell sitting here for Robert Davi. Got a great guest, guys, coming up. And this man, Kaelan Dorr, he's a warrior in the movement, as I say. He's the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Global Engagement at GETTR. Yeah, GETTR, new competition. That's right. I've been watching their planes fly around, all the big events and everything. And Jason Miller's the president, CEO of GETTR. And if I know if Kaelan Dorr is over there, I know it's legit. Kaelan, are you out there?
Oh, brother, I'm out here, and thank you for the kind words, the warm intro, and for being one of the more prolific GETTR posters out there. It is the true marketplace of ideas, and some cancel-free social media. We're going to cancel culture with your help, my man.
Yeah, it's interesting. I keep saying I saw this from day one when we kept getting canceled. Of course, they canceled the president and did away his Twitter, and there's a lot of folks out there. And, it's interesting, being from the South, I was like, my God, we fought to agree to disagree. And this is just crazy. But I'm glad you guys are out there. I'm glad Jason and you guys are really putting out that great social media for all the listeners out there. GETTR, GETTR. You can download on the app. But I'm going to let Kaelan tell us about it. Man, what's been going on? And, in terms of this new competitor on the block, this big dog on the block, how's it going so far?
Well, Bruce, things are going really, really, really well. As you mentioned, you see our plane banners up above almost every, SEC football game, and we were even up, in advance of the World Series this past weekend. We're out there. We've got about 3 million users, about 3.5 months, right? We launched on July 4th to celebrate our independence from, cancel culture and, the deep state and all that good stuff. So, in all honesty, things are going incredibly well. We've got big-name users like Secretary Mike Pompeo, yourself. We've got a lot of Marjorie Taylor Greene fans out there, Dinesh D'Souza's, Jack Posobiec's. I mean, it runs the gamut. For those of you who aren't even interested in politics, there's, Enes Kanter is a big part of our platform. He's out there speaking the good word, trying to take down the CCP, right? You got your Steve Bannons of the world, your Gina Carano's from Star Wars, right? This is a place for conservatives to feel like they can be themselves, right? I hate co-opting, liberal terminology, but us conservatives, we need a safe space of our own. We need a place for us to organize, for us to discuss and better ourselves, better our ideas, weed out the weaklings and strengthen our discourse. And if the left and the big tech oligarchs had their way, we wouldn't exist in any way, shape, or form. And what really is terrifying, Bruce, is that this doesn't stop online. Like the canceling, it extends into real life. You saw, Facebook invest, half a $500 billion in, election integrity, quote unquote, measures, and they're out there stealing people's votes. So this all happens in real life. It's not something that's limited to being online, and that's what I think people are slowly realizing as they sign up for the platform.
Right. It's interesting. I'm truly amazed on how fast this platform has grown. But most of all, what I really like about it, and I'll just say this from a personal standpoint, is that GETTR doesn't cancel anyone. There's a lot of folks that get on there and say crazy stuff, but I like the fact that we talk that good talk about, we said this and so said that, and you cancel them. But I like the fact that this platform is being the bigger man and woman. Let me use 2 words: the bigger man and woman that allows it, pretty much anyone to come on there and say what they have to say without being canceled. So it's interesting. And I said this before: competition is healthy. I love it because I have my own business here in Atlanta for 27 years, and that's what inspired me was kind of getting canceled. I was like, I can build this business, and that's what I like about this great republic that we live in, is the fact that it spurs ingenuity. And I'm watching you guys just grow leaps and bounds. Like, oh my gosh! Every time I look up on the GETTR, it's like so and so joins GETTR, so and so joins GETTR, so and so joins. I was like, okay, and not just from followers, but more our users, but staff. I mean, you guys are like growing, y'all busting out at the seams. You know, I'm like, can a brother get a job? I want a job. But listen, hey, let me ask you this though, because listen, I gotta brag on you a little bit, man. I'm sorry. Listen, let me tell you something about Kaelan Dorr. Y'all don't understand this. For all the listeners out there, this is the kind of guy you may not really see publicly a lot, and I'm kind of glad. I've been watching him on OAN lately and some other shows. Like, finally, so you come on out here and take some of this butt whooping out here, getting out here, because he's a really, really strategic, smart guy, man. I'm sorry, Kaelan, I got to brag on him. He gets behind the scenes, and a lot
this
of
is all on the record.
Great.
I'm gonna need a copy of this broadcast after we're done here.
I know, but listen, for all the great comms talk, this guy right here, I watched him in 2016 when we were in the trenches. I watched him in 2020 election, and he's that kind of guy that sits in there with strong strategy and gives you good advice. And that's the reasons why you saw a lot of good messaging out there, and a lot of the successes on the messaging came from this guy and some of his other colleagues. And I just want to let the listeners know how important and vital that sometimes you don't really hear or see about someone. They're not out there, waving the flag, but trust me, the guys are waving the flag, like myself and a lot of us been out here. If it wasn't for guys like Kaelan, these other really good comms guy, we wouldn't survive. So I just want to put that out there and let the public know about you. But tell us what, I guess what, as we go into 2022, let's put it this way. Let me pivot back because I really want to talk about this. The Southwest airline. And let's go, Brandon. What's your take on that? And in turn, especially on the Southwest pilot airline, he's under investigation. What's your take just on the overall hypocrisy?
Well, I think we've kind of leaned into it pretty heavily as a platform because the left does not like, there is a grassroots movement that despises this president. I call this president the cadaver-in-chief, Bruce. He's not there, man. There's video of the guy falling asleep in front of like 80 people this morning at a UN event, and he's just not there. And they look, for all their talk of free speech and for equitable treatment of this, that, and the other, they don't want you to have a thought that's different from theirs. And that's what we're seeing, right? The Southwest airline pilot should not be under investigation for saying, let's go, Brandon. Maybe if he had dropped an F-bomb in there or something like that, you've got a whole other conversation. But the guy is just expressing, it's just saying what everybody's thinking, man.
Right.
This president is a cadaver. And I don't know if you've seen this, there's this, like, CNN contributor, and she was on Twitter, the worst website in the world, but she was on Twitter 2 days ago talking about how the pilot should have said something along the lines of "Long live ISIS" before taking off. We're seeing this trigger the left in a way that I think nobody anticipated. And it's truly disgusting. There was another reporter, I think an AP reporter, was posting about how this is like a Nazi salute, and it's like pledging allegiance to Trump. Not like. People who don't even like President Trump are saying this, man.
Exactly. Hey, Kaelan, before we go, tell everyone out there how can they follow you, and just tell everyone how to follow you.
Absolutely, guys. Go to GETTR.com, download the app. I'm at Kaelan, Kaelan, and post at me. Tell me that you're there, and we'll have a little discussion. All
right. Well, there you go, Kaelan Dorr. We're going to go into commercial. Man, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you, brother. Keep fighting, and we'll see you around. God bless you, and have a blessed.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master planned destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Kaanapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Kaanapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit KaanapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. Have you heard about Vine to Bar chocolate? It's the winemaker's chocolate, the world's first chocolate made with well-vined Chardonnay marc from the beautiful coastal vineyards of North America. Gently pressed grapes are harvested after juicing, dried and finely milled and carefully blended into the finest dark chocolate. The Chardonnay marc contains highly beneficial grape nutrients, flavanols, and has a natural sweetness that flavors the luscious dark chocolate. Mouth-watering, flavorful, delectable dark chocolate goodness with Chardonnay sweetness and beneficial nutrients. And it's alcohol-free, too. It's Vine to Bar chocolate. Order some today at vinetobar.com. That's VINETOBAR.com. Cold shipped to your door, it's Vine to Bar. Vine to Bar chocolate. Visit us at vinetobar.com.
Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760.
The Robert Davi Show.
This is authentic.
Una furtiva lagrima negli occhi.
Wow, man, I really enjoyed Kaelan. Listen, next guest, y'all gonna love this guy, big Boris Epshteyn. Boris is my true brother from another mother. He's the president and CEO of Georgetown Advisory Consulting Group, and he's an experienced political strategist and a communicator, attorney, and investment banker. You know, Boris, loan me some money. Yeah. Mr. Epshteyn, he was one of the strategic advisors of the Trump-Pence 2020 and 16 campaign. He focused on maximizing support and amplifying the message of President Trump, Vice President Pence. He was also the co-chair of Jewish Voices for Trump on the advisory board, which he did a fabulous job. We'll get to that later on in the interview. He also served as special assistant to President Trump and assistant communications director in the White House right in 2017 when President Trump just took the oath and went in the White House. He managed strategy for media appearances by Trump administration representatives, as well as coordinated interviews and provided briefs to top administration officials, including the President and Vice President of the United States. Boris assisted with an advised of White House communication strategy across all subjects. He also appeared an on-air spokesman for the administration, national and local outlets. And I tell you, I missed him on CNN. Man, it was fun. Y'all want to have some fun? Go Google up some Boris Epshteyn CNN interviews. And my next guest, man, Boris, are you out there, brother? Come on, man.
I'm right here, my man. I'm right here. Wow, Bruce, with that sort of introduction, with that sort of bio, I should just take a nap and not even say anything else, my man. That's what else does a guy need in life. I appreciate you, man. You're a true warrior, a MAGA champion, with us from the very beginning. We had some fun in 2016. Hey, we had some fun throughout. And, you know, we had some fun in President Trump's win. And, yes, I do say win in 2020 as well. Yep. And here we go to another win in 2024.
Yeah. Listen, you know, for all the viewers out here, I have to brag on Boris, because I'm going to tell you guys, if you want to take a true warrior in the alley, you know, no weapons, and you are back to back, this is the guy you want to put your back to that will get your back. Now, I'm telling you what I know, guys. I've watched this man in some of the toughest situations out there during the campaign. He's a true warrior. I'm not just saying this. I'm telling you what I saw. And I told you guys I was going to bring the big guns on the Robert Davi show, and I kept my word. But Boris, tell us about, like, I know you're out there getting a lot of these Republicans elected. You got a great business with Georgetown Advisory. I've been hearing the buzz around the country says, hey, do you know this guy named Boris? I said, yeah, I know this guy named Boris. He said, man, he's tough. I said, well, what do you want? You want somebody soft? Bring a pillow? I said, if you want a pillow, call Mike the Pillow Man. But Boris, tell us what you got working on right now, brother.
Man, it's busy out there. You know, I'm so honored to be helping key candidates, key MAGA candidates all across the country, Bruce, get elected. And we're going to have a huge year in 2022. The MAGA movement is stronger than ever. President Trump is the leader, the focus point of that MAGA movement. The MAGA movement is hot. We're seeing it in Virginia. I mean, who thought that Glenn Youngkin was going to be so competitive with Terry McAuliffe in Virginia? It's coming down to the wire for tomorrow, and I think Youngkin's got a good chance. And make no mistake about it, that is all about the MAGA movement. It's exciting. It's real. It's hot. And again, it speaks to how strong our team is, how strong the MAGA team is, and I'm very, very, very proud to be just a humble piece of it.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. You know, I've been on a lot of networks. You have too, but it's interesting how that everyone tries to just make the America First all about President Trump, and that's true. He's pretty much like the strongest voice out there, but. Have you noticed like a different type of candidate that you've been seeing out of this birth of the America First movement?
You know, I think the candidates who we want, the candidates who are the best, the candidates who are the strongest, who are really out there, are the Eric Greitens of the world, right? Eric Greitens, who you've endorsed. He's a former governor of Missouri. He's a Navy SEAL. He's a heck of a Jewish G.I. Joe. He's so strong out there and really doing a lot of the right things, going to the border, going to the audit. You know, you've got Vernon Jones, who you know well, running in Georgia for governor against Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp was absolutely terrible candidate. And then you look across the country, there's a lot of very strong candidates. I've got Carolina Serrano, who's a Hispanic woman running in the Nevada 4th Congressional District, who's a true leader and somebody who's she didn't come from wealth or a family that's been there for generations. She's an immigrant like I am, and that's inspiring. That's leadership to the MAGA movement, to the America First movement.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because that's one thing I've noticed. Like, it's not, what we're seeing. We're seeing a new level as the new resurrection, as the America First. And I'm watching it, really, Boris, you're seeing it too on Senate campaigns, congressional campaigns,
in real time,
city council, mayor races, etc. But just for the listeners, tell me, what do you think in terms of like going into 2022? Where do you see our predictions on the House?
I think we got a chance to take 60, 70, 80 seats in the House. I think it's going to be historic. I think it's going to be 1994 levels, 2010 levels. I think it's going to be huge because, look at what's happening. You got this feckless, useless, quote-unquote president, Joe Biden, who's not doing anything right. And you've got an economy that's absolutely falling apart. You have the disaster in Afghanistan. You've got the absolute meltdown on the border where we don't have a southern border. So, and then you've got the MAGA movement that's reminding people about everything that happened under President Trump: real borders, the strong economy, our position around the world, redoing completely the failed NAFTA with the USMCA, standing up for our allies, pushing back on our adversaries, standing with Israel. President Trump really brought so much strength to this country, and Biden, his feckless team, are bringing so much weakness. So I think it's really hurting. It's hurting the Democrats. Again, you're seeing this in the Virginia race, right? Biden and the Democrats are an albatross around Terry McAuliffe, and they're going to be an albatross around Democrat candidates all across the country in 2022.
Right. And just for the listeners, I have to bring this up because we only got a few minutes left because I want to get a chance to how people can follow you, Boris. Brother, I just love your fight with our relations with the U.S. and Israel, and I just want to really commend you for keeping that conversation and keeping, the awareness on how important it is to have a quote as a nation, a Christian Judean nation, but how essential it is to have that connection with Israel. And I watched you, brother, out there fighting with your brothers and sisters, and I truly commend you for staying with that. And just real quick, tell us, where do you think we're at in that relation now with Israel?
Well, I think the Democrats have no idea about how important Israel is, and sadly, there's just so much anti-Semitism in the Democrat Party. They got Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, even. You've got these people who are viewed as leaders in the Democrat Party who are saying disgusting anti-Semitic things, anti-Israel things. So, and this is what we talked about during the campaign. I was the co-chair of Jewish Voices for Trump. I talked about over and over again about how, there's anti-Semites, sadly, both on the far left and the far right. The difference is the far left elects theirs to Congress, right? That's how you get Rashida Tlaib. That's how you get Ilhan Omar in Congress. So, the relationship with Israel definitely is not what it was under President Trump. You've got Joe Biden, whoever controls Joe Biden, playing footsie with the terror regime in Iran, which is a huge, huge problem, a huge, huge issue. So, it's a problem. And not only is it a problem vis-a-vis Israel, it's a problem in terms of anti-Semitism. And look at the stuff that was just pulled in Virginia, right. Between either this was those perverts at the Lincoln Project or it was the Democrats. It's disgusting. They're using anti-Semitic tropes to attack a candidate of an opposing party, and we cannot trivialize anti-Semitism in that way. So it's very troubling. And I'll tell you this even more personally. My alma mater, Georgetown, recently disallowed Chabad, which is a traditional Jewish organization.
Oh, yeah. Steve was telling me about that.
Being on campus. I wasn't happy about that, baby. I wasn't happy about that. We're doing everything we can to change that. So,
yeah. Well, listen, we got about 20 seconds left, but tell all the listeners how to follow you and really how to hire you, Boris. How about that?
My man. Well, listen, I'm here, and I'm here to help all those who are running on the MAGA agenda. Reach out to me. BorisEP.com is the website. You can reach out to me through the website. BorisEP.com. I'm at BorisEP on Twitter, at BorisEP on GETTR, and I'm Boris_Epshteyn on the gram. Always coming in hot on the gram, as I say. So thanks so much, Bruce. You're a champion. God bless you. Thanks for having me.
All right. I love you, brother. We're going to go on a commercial break, and we just had Boris Epshteyn, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. I got a really good guest coming.
I'm Al Simon, 91 years young. I created Balance 7 20 years ago. At 67, I went to see the doctor for the first time in my life and found that I had medical problems. He told me that was normal for my age. I don't believe God intended us to be sick and old. I decided to find something to bring my health back. For 10 years, I studied pH and how important it is to the human system. Balance 7 gave me back what I lost by getting older. I no longer get out of bed with a joint discomfort. Balance 7 can do for you what it has done for me and many others. In 3 days' time, you'll feel more energy, less joint discomfort, and clarity of thinking. No doctor or hospital can do what Balance 7 can do for you. Balance 7 is the key to unlocking the healthy immune system. Bring your body back to balance. Order now. Receive free shipping with the code word AL. Go to balance7.com. That's balance7.com. Order now and get your free shipping and a free gift with your order. Go to balance7.com. Use the code word AL.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
The Robert Davi Show.
Mike? You let me down, Mike. You're making me look bad. Thought we had an understanding. And all I expect is a little cooperation!
Sorry, Robert.
Wow, I'm really excited for the next guest. My sister, oh my gosh. You're talking about people who walk that walk and talk the talk, does it all. It's Kim Klacik. And Kim, you know, she's an American businesswoman. I don't want to say politician. She's a statesperson. I don't want to use the word politics because she's definitely not a politician. She's a statesperson. You know, I used to say statesman, but I say statesperson. Yeah, there we go. She was a Republican nominee for Maryland's 7th Congressional District, and after the death of incumbent Elijah Cummings and subsequent November 2020 election, in both elections, she was there. She ran against Quasi Infamy, who was actually a former president of NAACP, but gave a heck of a fight. Oh my gosh! And y'all saw that video. You know, her marketing, her video is just brilliant. Game changed the entire how you get out there. She's definitely a warrior. She's definitely a person of the people that goes out there and does what she says. She also founded this really cool nonprofit, assists women with workforce development. Potential Me, what it's called, and she's really every time I look up, she is out there helping the people, and she's helping a lot of inner city kids get uniforms. Oh man, the list goes. I'm gonna let her tell you. Kim, are you out there?
Hey Bruce, how are you? I'm here.
Oh wow, thanks for coming on. Listen, I know you're one of the hardest working ladies in political business, statesman business, and I appreciate you coming on. And I know you're busy because I see you on Twitter. I see you everywhere out helping candidates get elected. But first off, I just want you to I want to dive right into this and just tell for the listeners out here about your Red Renaissance organization. OMG, it is like every time I look up, I see this everywhere.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. I mean, Red Renaissance, it's a PAC that we started basically because we felt that we need to support more minorities running in their own communities. Like you said earlier, we're not really supporting politicians. We're supporting people that just want to make a change in the communities they grew up in. But we don't just support minorities. We support everyone. But helping them with fundraisers, helping them with rev share emails. Marcus Trent, our manager, he helps them with door knocking, canvassing, you name it. Because we know how important it is. And as you know, right now, we've got so many candidates running in Virginia and New Jersey, and they have a big election day tomorrow. So we're just here trying to figure out and making sure we get everyone's name out there and making sure everybody understands who's running where and when to vote and how to vote so that hopefully we can flip states like Virginia and New Jersey.
Yeah, and I see you really out there. Just for the listeners, I want to remind everyone. I said Kim is Kim Klacik, and this is the young lady, if I can say young lady, that had over 13 plus million views on Twitter when she ran her commercial about, literally walking down the street in the hood, talking about things that need to be done. And I don't think anyone has ever surpassed that. I think she would have had 20 or 30 million if she wasn't throttled back on these big tech giants, which she can tell you more of that than I can. But I just want to, for all the listeners, Kim is a true warrior. She sounds real nice and delicate, but I'm telling you, you don't want to be, you don't want to get out of line because Kim don't play. But Kim, listen, let me tell you something. One thing I noticed about you when you ran in Maryland. Of course, we were all watching. And by the way, everyone, Kim got to speak at the RNC convention, did a fabulous speech. You can look all this up. Her speech is phenomenal. Is the fact that, when you ran, it's like you, Angela Stanton down in the district down in John Lewis's old district. You saw what Larry Elders did over in California, the recall. I was so amazed. And I said, you know what? Even though you guys, you didn't win, but to me, I felt you won. And I say that to say that if this doesn't inspire other beautiful Black Americans to say, you know what, Kim can do this, I can do this, Larry can do this, I can do this, Angela can do this. And this is what I saw you as a winner, Kim. And I just want to tell you that, and all the listeners, and I appreciate your work and your continuous work. And another thing too, for the listeners, Kim isn't the kind of person like, just because she didn't prevail in that last election, she didn't just like, oh, well, pack up all your clothes and pack up your bags, let's go. Kim has been out there continuous fighting. And I just want to commend you on that. And I just want to bring that up on how thankful we are for you, just bringing a voice and bringing awareness and being courageous and inspiring other Black Americans, or just anyone, just like, hey, Kim can do it, I can do it. But Kim, tell us about your latest, like, what do you got working on now in terms of a candidate? Who do you see that is going to be a game changer on the next election tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you for all the kind words. I did, honestly, I looked at it as a win because, like you said, there are a lot more people now running for office that would call us and say, I ran because you did it, and I felt like if you could do it, I could do it too. And to me, that is a win. And so for us, looking at, like I said, states like Virginia and New Jersey, we're looking at other areas too that are really purple turning red. We're very excited about Teddy Daniels in Pennsylvania. He's in the Scranton area. He's a great candidate. He had a great campaign ad as well. I think he's going to definitely get in the House in 2022. And then we have these young candidates that are coming out, like Alex Stovall in Arizona, in District 9. He's really been hitting the ground a lot lately. He was definitely doing a lot on social media, and now every time I look and see what he's doing, he's, knocking doors, talking to people, going to local events, and just really getting out there and meeting everyone. And that's, what it takes. And it's so great because, all these candidates that are running for 2022 in the midterms, they've already started, and they've started months ago. And so they definitely have time on their side. When we finally made our campaign ad and it actually made some waves, that was in mid-August. And then we had until November 3rd to really hit the ground hard. So it's great to see these candidates that are getting a head start early and, just getting out there. For us, we're waiting for redistricting here in Maryland to happen. It should happen next month. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be some back and forth between Republicans and Democrats and the General Assembly. And so we're probably going to see a lot of changes to the map. But I think even if we just get some of the gerrymandering rectified, I think it would be helpful. I think a lot of people look at the state of Maryland and think it's such a blue state. But we do have a Republican governor because we do have a lot of red areas in Maryland that have just been engulfed by the blue just because of the gerrymandering. So we should see probably, I think, by December or January, whether or not we're going to throw my hat back in the ring. We left money in the bank to run again. I love the Baltimore area. I want to continue to try to represent the Baltimore area. But we're just trying to make sure, is it a good time now or is it a good time in 24 when there's a presidential ticket, right? So So we ran hard last time. This time around, we want to run hard and smart. We want to make sure we have the best strategy put forth. But like I said, these other candidates that we're supporting now, I think it's 23 total across the country with Red Renaissance. People can go to redrenaissance.com and check it out. But like I said, we have a lot of great candidates. We have Luna Lopez down in Florida. We've got Carla Spalding. She's also in Florida. Oh, Willie Montague. He's in Orlando. We have so many great candidates, Bruce, that are really just doing an awesome job, just getting out there, knocking doors. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take.
Yeah, and and just for the listeners, once again, I'm telling you, when I say I'm excited to have Kim on, because I'm telling you guys, this lady has not stopped. A lot of candidates, they get out there and get discouraged, they don't prevail. Honey, listen, if I can say that from the South, honey, you were just, it's like someone stuck an adrenaline pen in you, and you just blew up and kept fighting. And I commend you, because every time it's interesting, every time I look up, you're like on this part of the country for a state senator. And then I look up the next day and you're on the other side of the country for, a House seat. And it's so cool because, a lot of people look at the focus on the bigger candidates, et cetera. But my God, when I see you out there, you're literally out there for just a city council seat, a school board seat or a state house seat, or it doesn't matter. And I just want to commend you. And I wish a lot of the other folks out there would really pay attention to that, because listen, elections count where we live, work, and play, and they're very essential. They're very important. And I noticed that about Red Renaissance, on how you really keying on that, the quote, America First candidate. And listen, by the way, folks, Kim ain't going to jump in with you with that foolishness. I'm telling you right now. So don't be calling her with some silliness, because she is all about business, and she's all about the quote, America First candidate who wants to come in and do the will of the people's business. And that's what I'm noticing. And you mentioned Luna. She's down there in Florida. That's actually where my other house is, down in St. Pete, Florida, St. Pete Beach and Tampa area. And you're right. There are a lot of rising stars, and I say stars, who are coming out. They're leaving their jobs and stepping aside their businesses, and they're wanting to come and support the America First movement, which I know that you're a big key of that, Kim. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. But, I think we only got like a minute left or whatever, and I don't want to get too far in the weeds on, this, but I really want you to tell everyone how to follow you, and, how to get in contact with you, and so you can help them.
Yeah, definitely. Again, thanks for having me. You can go to redrenaissance.com. Kim K. Baltimore on Twitter, Kimberly Klacik, Klacik on Instagram and Facebook. And then you can always shoot me an email at kimklacik@gmail.com. We really want to support as many candidates as possible. Like you said, we've got people running for school board in Palm Beach County, city council in New Jersey, whether it's Clyde Cook or Dave Herrera. We just want to make sure that we get these candidates the exposure that they deserve.
Wow. That's cool. And to follow her on Twitter is Kim Baltimore. And also on GETTR, also you can follow her, and of course on Instagram. Y'all make sure you follow her. This is a rising star, and one day I'm gonna ask her for a job. She don't know that yet, but Kim, can a brother get a hookup? Can I get a job? But listen, thanks for everyone listening. We had a great show. It's great to be hosting for the Robert Davi Show. I'm Bruce LeVell. Y'all have a blessed day, and keep this movement going and keep fighting. God bless you.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
The Radio Channel.